Hi garden friends, and welcome to my channel, DK's Garden Oasis. For those that don't know me, I am Debbie and I garden in Zone 6A, southwest suburbs of Chicago. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to start Lisianthus from seed, and I am going to be using my soil blocks, which I had great success last year. Make sure you stay till the end where I share a beautiful winter poem. Winter has arrived in Illinois and I'm ready to start thinking about spring. And the first seeds that I plant are my Lisianthus. This is the third year that I'll be growing Lisianthus. The first year I did not have success. I tried to grow them in trays and I'm not sure what happened, but it could be user error. Last year I grew them in soil blocks and I transplanted them in an in-ground garden and had great success. Unfortunately, I didn't take a lot of photos, so that is what I'm going to prove on this year, is to make sure I take photos of everything. Here's one bouquet that I had a couple of Lisianthus in the vase. Some things you might want to know about Lisianthus: they are a beautiful, long-lasting cut flower that resemble a rose. They come in a variety of colors and can be single or double flowered. They are native to the regions of the southern US, Mexico, South America, and the Caribbean. They take a very long time to grow, but they are well worth the wait. So because the seeds are very small, they are pelleted. And so I'll show you what that looks like. They come in these little capsules, and I'm not sure if you can see them bouncing around in there, but they're pelleted so that you could see them better. Because they are pelleted, it shortens their shelf life, so it is recommended that you use them within the first year. They are classified into 4 groups, 1 through 4, and I generally see, mainly in my area, 1 through 3, but I do have a variety that may have a group 4, so we will see. Group 1 are your spring blooms, and they like moderate heat and moderate light. The first group are your Lisianthus Doubellini, Roseanne 1, and Mariachi. Group 2 is your main summer blooms, and those are your Roseanne 2, your Voyage 2, and they like high heat and high light. Your group 3 are all of the above that I stated, plus Arena 3s, Roseanne 3, and your Corelli 3. They generally like cooler temperatures and moderate light. They're treated as an annual, and they should be started 12 to 13 weeks before your last annual frost. And my zone is now 6A, so it changed slightly. It used to be around Mother's Day, and now they're stating it's around May 1st. A little hesitant yet to put some of my things out May 1st, but the Lisianthus can handle a little bit of cool weather. I'm going to be planting all my Lisianthus in soil blocks, and it's recommended that you can transplant those 60 to 75 days out. That brings me to around March 10th to March 24th that I can transplant those, and then I'll be putting those in the larger soil blocks at that time. And they say when you're transplanting, you're looking for 4 true leaves. You want to keep the seedlings moist but not saturated. And I put vermiculite over them, and that increases water retention and cinnamon to prevent algae growth. They recommend pinching the first bloom, as this will create more side branches and more blooms. Vase life is 10 to 15 days and can be longer if you use a preservative. So as you can see, the vase life of these are phenomenal. So here's the varieties that I'll be growing this year. I believe I'm growing 12 varieties this year. I'm going to be growing Roseanne Black Pearl, and this is a group 1. Mariachi Pure White, another group 1. Voyage 2 Blue. Voyage Pink 2. This one looks really pretty. Voyage 2 Champagne. And Voyage 2 Lavender. And then for the other ones that I'll be growing, these were all from Johnny's. I have a few more, and this is from the group 3. This is Arena 3 Apricot, Arena 3 Blue Picotee. This is a Roseanne 3 Brown. I also have 3 more from a couple other suppliers. So this one is from Gardener's Workshop, and this is Lisianthus ABC2 Misty Pink. from C&J Farms. I have Lisianthus Chroma Mix. Now I couldn't find a picture of the mix, but it comes in various colors. It comes in lavender, yellow, red, white, blue, pink, champagne, purple, and Picotee. So there's quite a few in there, and hopefully I'll get a variety in this packet. This one also is from C&J Farms, and this one is Super Magic Capri Blue Picotee. So those are all the varieties that I'll be growing, and I'll be growing them, I'm going to start growing them in this 3/4 soil block, and I'll show you how I'm going to be doing those soil blocks in a moment. But they have 20 little soil blocks that you can make in each of these. And then the next size up is a 1.5. I won't be using these to transplant, but I use these for like stock and for some of my other cool season flowers that I start in soil blocks. So this is the one that I'll be using for that. Then when I get the 4 sets of true leaves and I could transplant them from these soil blocks, I'm going to put them in here, and you get 4, and as you can see, this has a divot when you make the soil block, and it's the perfect size of these small soil blocks that you just pop them in and then they grow on. So let's go downstairs and start those soil blocks of Lisianthus. So this is my grow room, and this is where I grow all of my seeds. I have this cart that I got from Costco to put all my seeds on. I have some heat mats that I took out, and there's a couple of brands, but this is one of them. I have my digital timer surge protector to turn on my lights that I have on right now. Those were separate. I did buy those separate. And I did lower these because you want them closer to the seedlings. And then I have I have these that I can raise up as the seedlings get a little bit taller. As I showed you before, I have the trays, so I have these to do all the Lisianthus. I have some bigger ones as well, but I'm going to try to use just the green ones for right now because this takes up a lot of space on my shelves. And I'm going to be trying a couple of different things. This is just a piece of burlap that I'm going to put over the Lisianthus soil blocks, and this would keep moisture in but not let them dry out. I'm also going to try some plastic see which does better. But last year I used the plastic wrap and they were just fine. So I have these 2 things. What else? Of course, my seeds. And for my soil blocking, I'm going to use the same soil block that I had last year because they did really well, and I hate to try something else when I had success. So this is Vermont Compost. I'm going to use this for my Lisianthus. And I'm going to be trying other brands for my other soil blocks, and I'll show you that in a future video. And then what I put in the compost, I put some green sand, and I put 1/4 of a cup into the dry soil. And I put a little cupful of Mycorrhizae. And then what I do is I just mix it up, and I have a couple of other supplies here that you probably want to see. I have blue painter's tape, and then I'm just gonna label and put on so I can tell which variety is on each tray. So I have my toothpicks, and that's to pick up the seeds. This is a little aluminum tray, and if you put it in like plastic, they're really hard to grab a hold of, even with the toothpick. So I found that this aluminum tray doesn't have much static, and so you could pick it up with the toothpick. So I use these for, especially for the Lisianthus. Then I have a scraper, and I mix it up, my soil, and I also use it to clean off the bottom of the soil blocks. I have some other supplies like scissors, and of course you need your garden marker so it doesn't fade. This is a special garden marker. You need that. What else do I have besides scissors? I have little tongs. Sometimes if the soil blocks tip over, you can pick these up gently with the little tongs. I also have vermiculite. So I put this on top, and this retains moisture. I use this with all of my seedlings, and it goes pretty far. And then I also use cinnamon, and that is just to prevent algae growth. I did have a little bit of algae last year, so I started putting cinnamon on, and I did not have an issue, so I'm going to put that on top as well. And then of course you need your gloves, some wipes. I have a Johnny sprayer. This thing is awesome. This is a great sprayer. Your seeds, and then I have some water under this table. I started off with, I believe I did 20 cups of the Vermont Compost, and then I mixed in the green sand and the Mycorrhizae, and then the ratio is 3 to 1. I did about 20, so that would be up around 7. So I think I did 3 to 4 cups of water. So the ratio is 3 to 1. And then, yeah, so that's it. I did get it going yesterday because I wanted to kind of have it mixed up and ready to go for us to get started. Let me change the camera around so you could see me making the soil blocks. Okay, here we have my soil, which I mixed up last night, but it was 20 cups of Vermont Compost, some Mycorrhizae, and some green sand. And then I put 4 cups of water in. And now we'll get started. We just need to grab our gloves here, and we will start our soil blocks. Okay, now I am just mixing up everything, making sure that it's right consistency. It should be a consistency like oatmeal. You shouldn't have too much water dripping out, but it's better on the moist side than dry. This is my 3/4 soil block with 20 cells in them. So what you're going to do is you're going to press down and then wiggle it back and forth a little bit into the soil. Pick it up, do it again, make sure you fill all the cells. I'm going to lift up here, and you can see that I missed a couple, so I'm going to have to go down and get some more soil. So I'm filling these up now, and then I'm turning it, and now we have all the cells filled. So I'm going to take my scraper and scrape this, as you can see here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up on the plunger. So that is where you pull up. You're going to pull up in that direction, and then pull the plunger up, and there is my soil blocks with 20 little mini blocks. So let me fill up this tray, and then we'll put seeds in. Okay, so I did 2 varieties, and I have 3 blocks of 20 each, so that's 120 cells of soil blocks, and the 2 varieties, Mariachi and Roseanne Black Pearl. And now we're going to start putting our seeds in, and they are pelleted. So I will start with Mariachi Pure White, and I will show you in a second what they look like. It's kind of hard to see. I didn't exactly have them under the camera, but those are the pelleted seeds. They're yellow. I'm going to grab a toothpick and wet it, and I have my aluminum tin that's just out of the picture, and I have a seed on the end of that toothpick, and I will drop each one into each cell. For the first 3 groups, I'm going to be doing Pure White Mariachi. And the second 3 blocks of soil blocks, I'll be doing Roseanne Black Pearl. Now I'm going to spread cinnamon to prevent algae growth. And now I'm putting vermiculite on to retain moisture. And last I'm using my Johnny's sprayer to spritz down the seedlings. You don't want it too moist to displace the seeds, but just give it a light misting. Okay, all done. Now I'm just going to put it on the heat mat on consistent heat and 16 hours of light and wait till they germinate. I'm going to be using this burlap once the sprouts have emerged. Initially I'll be using plastic. And so that is it for my soil blocks for Lisianthus. I hope this video was informative, and maybe you would like to grow Lisianthus this year. So give it a like and share with your garden friends. Don't forget there's still time to enter the giveaway from my last video, and I'll link that above. We have a couple days left for that. And then the next video will be my cool season flowers, and I will have another giveaway. So stay tuned for all that. Make sure you're subscribed and hit the notification bell for those videos. Now I want to share that beautiful winter poem. Thanks for watching, and happy gardening. Bye-bye.